Hello, everyone, and thank you so much. I hope you enjoyed that movie. So excited to have everybody here. Thank you for coming. My name is Stacy, and my pronouns are she and her. I'm a pale-skinned woman wearing a red kind of tank toppy top, and I have blue hair, believe it or not, for those of you who are visually impaired, and I have a black background. And for those of you who are interested, we have live captioning enabled. You can go ahead and turn that on for yourself. At Inform Your Community, we offer fun events that are combined with some important topic and some information on that important topic. And we find the best way to talk about difficult topics is to talk about them. And so we are all here to have a wonderful discussion facilitated by Hanali, which we're looking forward to. You can find other information about our events, as well as our social media links and link to our YouTube channel on our website at www.informyourcommunity.org. And please do tell your friends to sign up as well for some of our upcoming events. So you can see our events there as well under our events tab. So it's important to remind everybody that we are not at all doctors and we are not here to get any kind of medical advice. But we can provide resources and, some ideas and some topics of discussion, for us to engage in today. So this topic is clearly an important one. What a fun movie to be able to discuss it with. According to research, for example, just to take one type of invisible disability, autoimmune disorders affect 24 million people in the United States. So that's just one type of invisible disability, autoimmune disorders. It's 24 million people that affects. So really an important topic, and what a fun movie, Finding Dory, to be able to talk about this with, about. And so we're here today to help us understand this topic further now that we've watched the movie. We will have our discussion facilitated by Hanali Patel. And we're so excited about that. And so please, Hanali, take it away.
1 second. Hi, thank you, Stacy. Good evening, everyone. My name is Hanali, like she said, and I'm a program director for Popcorn and Chat at Inform Your Community. My pronouns are she, her, hers. I'm an Indian woman, and I am currently wearing a blue t-shirt, and I have black hair, black eyes, and my background is a green couch and a door. So without further ado, let's get started. Feel free to unmute yourself for our discussion. And when you have a comment, you can type it in the chat box or raise your hand on Zoom, or just unmute yourself and just speak your comment, whichever you feel comfortable. And I hope everyone enjoyed the movie. As we know, 10% of Americans have a medical condition which could be considered an invisible disability, and 96% of people with chronic medical conditions live with a condition that is invisible, based on the research by University of Massachusetts. So what is your opinion on how invisible disability was portrayed in the movie? And feel free to unmute yourself.
Hello?
Yes.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. My name is Joseph. I have black hair. I'm wearing a blue top. I'm from Ghana. Yes, so I'm a special educational needs facilitator. So I get to experience, or I get to work with students who have disabilities a lot. I've had quite a number of students who have invisible disabilities as well. And I feel it was portrayed pretty well, because when you see Dory, you wouldn't at first instance know exactly what kind of disability she's having until you engage with her. And you can tell from some of the reactions of the characters in the movie, they were quite surprised. Wait, you just forgot the conversation we had? It's weird. Some of them felt pretty spooked by having a conversation with her. So yeah, my take on it is that it was pretty it played out pretty well. The way that students or people who have hidden disabilities actually feel.
Yes, I totally agree. Anyone else?
Looks like there's someone in the chat who wrote something.
Oh.
The charity wrote, the disability is a short-term memory loss. So that's the one that Dory had. Good clarification. And there were some other characters, right, in the film who had some invisible disabilities potentially, right? So
Yes.
Dory was the main character, but then there was the other two characters.
Yes.
Oh, I can't forget. I
This
can't remember.
Destiny, I think, was the whale who had a vision impairment.
Yeah.
And then Bailey, yes.
Bailey, right? Auditory impairment. Yes.
Yeah.
Great.
And I think Dory's memory loss and her struggles in her day-to-day life was portrayed pretty well, and in a very simple and light manner for people to understand what someone would feel like in such situation. So that was really interesting. And I don't know if I heard a comment.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no, you're good. No more. There were no more comments. Somebody said Bailey.
Okay,
was the name, right? Yeah.
Okay, yeah. And so I guess considering the fact that 1/5 of U.S. adults experience invisible disability or and mental health issues in 2020, what resources would you recommend to understand mental health disorders? Like, do you have any resources that you actively use or follow, or would you suggest to people here that they could use to understand the mental health disorders?
Well, so I'm not a professional when it comes to mental health. I'm not. But then in a quest to provide holistic education for my students, I took a couple of courses in mental health, first aid courses. So when you go to Eventbrite, you can find, or when you Google search, you can find mental health first aid programs that you can actually take, or courses that you can take. Some 4 hours straight, some will break it into 2 days that you can take to give you beginner kind of elementary knowledge about mental health, to equip anyone who is interested in assisting students or individuals who might come across who need assistance mental health wise. So it's one of the ways that I can suggest that anyone who is interested in can do to enlighten themselves about mental health and how to assist individuals who might have mental health challenges.
Yeah, that's very interesting. I didn't know they had those. It's a good resource to know.
Yeah, I didn't know that. I didn't know that either. Yeah. There's other places like, I don't know if Coursera and Khan Academy. I wonder if they're, and I never thought of it, but I wonder if those kind of sources have classes as well. That's interesting.
Yeah, well, I don't know of them. I don't know of Coursera or Khan Academy if they have any mental health first aid courses or any courses on mental health, but I do know of Eventbrite. In fact, I found your this very event on Eventbrite. So yeah, I was searching for events that I could attend. It's vacation here, by the way. So I have lots of time on my hands, and looking for a way to keep myself busy, I went online to search for events on disability studies or anything on mental health, and yours happened to be one of the options that pop up, so I decided to join it. So yeah, Eventbrite has quite a number of events, useful events that you can attend if you have interest in mental health. You should check it out sometime.
I'll be
Yes, for
there.
sure. Thank you.
Welcome.
And I think one of the other resources that I think is the book called Think Like a Monk by Jay Shetty. We could that I think has a lot of I guess insights in that area as well that we could look into. And then there's another one that is A Mind That Found Itself by Clifford Beers from 1908. That one's also a good one. And then there are additional there are books by about different people like Einstein, Temple Grandin, and Venus Williams have also have had a major impact in helping us understand visual disability better. So I think we could also look into those resources. And yeah, so some of you may have found this movie to be a powerful movie. Why was this movie powerful to you?
Well, so I like the way Dory's parents are quite supportive of her disability. So in Ghana, it's difficult sometimes for close family relatives, or close family, sorry, or relatives to exactly understand how a person who is having a disability feels. Some are, they live in denial. And so it's difficult. I mean, I feel like the first step of assisting someone who has a disability is to be able to accept that they need assistance and they have a disability. So, but if the person is living in denial, it becomes difficult because they don't even agree with the fact that you need help to provide you with it. But then Doreen's parents have come to the points where they know that their daughter needs assistance. And even though it breaks their hearts, because I remember there was a scene in the movie where the mom was crying and the dad was consoling her. They still meet her at the middle grounds where they can provide her assistance. And I remember they showed her how to get home in case she's lost. You follow the shells. So I like the fact that the parents are willing to assist her to be able to deal with her disability and encouraging her all the time. That's good. And I feel she has pretty good friends as well. Nemo and the dad are also very supportive. And
there was also a movie called 51st Dates or something, like with Adam Sandler and Drew Barrymore, and she had an accident and she couldn't remember anything, besides, it's the same kind of thing. We could have done that movie too. Anyway, I'm sorry I interrupted.
No, it's fine.
I know.
It's a discussion.
Yeah.
Love your thoughts.
We have sorry. Yeah, and we have a comment by Tyler. I liked how a lot of it circled back to love, trust, and support. Things only seemed to go wrong when those were not present, but as the character's story especially felt loved and trusted and supported, they were able to achieve their goals. Yeah, I think having that right community around you to help you out, I think that really helps. And I think it's because they were aware of her disability that they were able to guide her. So I think that was very helpful.
Yeah.
For sure.
It's true.
Yeah. And who would have thought that 2016, when Finding Dory came out, brought attention to invisible disability, would have been an important year. Some of the important dates in history have also shaped the way invisible disability looks today. For instance, in 1771, the National Institute for Deaf Mutes and Old French Sign Language was created, and then in 1800s, Louis Braille modified Charles Barbier's night writing to make brailles. I'm sorry if I'm mispronouncing it. But and then in 19
Yeah.
Braille, okay. In 1950s, I think it's White's Witzke, Witebsky, I think.
We'll go with that.
And Rose disproved disproved the idea that the body cannot produce antibodies against itself. And then again, and then in 1990s, the Americans and the Disability Act was passed, and its anniversary is actually this month.
Years ago, yesterday, that it was signed, July 26th.
Yes.
1990. So, and actually, July is Disability Pride Month. So, for people who don't know that.
Yeah. And then, of course, in 2023, April 2nd. Yeah. And then 2023, April 2nd, World Autism Awareness Day was put in place. And that's also been a great way to bring awareness. While such improvements are great, I think we have a long way to go until everyone is aware of the existence of invisible disabilities and is mindful of it when interacting with others. So how do you think as a community we can help others going through some kind of invisible disability, especially people that you don't know that would have it?
An interesting thing happened to me on in the elevator on the way up to a doctor's appointment. There was somebody there with their child who was obviously very cranky and just acting out. Now, maybe 20 years ago, when all of this autism stuff wasn't really so much in the forefront, and all this ADHD stuff wasn't in the forefront, I might have thought, can't you control your child? But instead I was like, oh, maybe the kid's got an issue, got something going on that I may not be aware of. So I kind of looked at the father and smiled and said hello to the kid instead of like doing one of these, because it's really not my place. And I thought about it. So,
Yeah. It definitely helps. I think education and awareness of different disabilities really help with being aware of it and mindful of it around us.
And giving people the benefit of the doubt. Jessica makes a really good point. We all have a bad days. Don't we all wish we can get the benefit of the doubt?
For sure. I think information is a great resource that can help people. For example, just looking up statistics that can bring you insight into what someone or even you may be experiencing, knowing that 93 million US adults are at high risk for serious vision loss, for which 50% visited an eye doctor in the past year. The percent of disabling hearing loss also increases with age. So just being mindful of statistics and making sure you're up to date with what's out there, educating yourself can really help with coping with this in the community. And sometimes it's not.
Sorry. Go ahead. This is just my area.
No, go ahead.
So that's why.
Yeah, share, Jessica. I'd love to hear.
Yeah.
Everybody eventually becomes somewhat disabled in their lives. If you live old enough, it's going to happen. So, You know, that's why we in the disability community call you folks temporarily able-bodied.
Yeah.
That's great. Temporarily
Yeah.
able-bodied.
Yeah.
It's true. It's true.
That is true. And sometimes it's not obvious that someone is going through something, like when Fish would swim right by Dory when she needed help finding her parents. So what should we stay mindful of, considering we can't necessarily tell if someone has an invisible disability in any situation? It's very similar
Sorry,
to
the question again.
Yeah, so sometimes it's not obvious that someone is going through something, like when the fish would swim right by Dory when she needed help finding her parents. So what should we stay mindful of, considering we can't necessarily tell if someone has an invisible disability? Like, you know, when the fishes passed by and didn't help Dory, had they known about her situation, understood her situation, would have been better overall for her? Like, how would you say we could stay mindful in such situations where people around us could have that and we don't necessarily see the disability?
I mean, in New York, there was that horrible case of a homeless person who was having an outburst, who ended up getting killed because somebody was like, oh, let me control the situation, and let me, this person's being aggressive, so let me, subdue this person. I think patience is often called for, in situations where people may not be acting as we might expect. They might, sometimes we think, oh, that person's weird, or oh, I better stay away from them. And, sometimes it's just like, be patient, watch, observe, of course, be safe, but, more than anything, be patient, be kind, give people the benefit of the doubt.
Yeah, it's true. Patience is, it's very important. I also think you can ask. You can find out when you see someone acting out of character or acting in a way that you don't think it's regular in a setting. Can find out from the person.
Regular anyway.
Yeah, well, yeah, regular in quotes, because I mean, when you ask, you can, that's when you can exactly understand how the person feels and you can assist them. Even with, yeah, you have to, you have
Also,
to, whether the person has a disability or not. Yes,
also,
Jessica.
we can take a positive thing about Dory too, is that she was very able to just jump in and do things without really thinking about the consequences, which is not always wonderful. But, in the last movie, Finding Nemo, that's how she helped him find Nemo, because she was so impulsive and not willing to just go with the average flow of things, so there's a positive side to the way that she thinks too, so that's always a great way of looking at disability. It's not necessarily a bad thing, it's a different thing, different way of going through life. And it's just a different modality of just being human or fishy, whichever way it shows up. So, not everything has to be a certain way. And we think that things have to be a certain way when people think differently. have a different process.
Yeah.
That is sorry to interject here. It's a great point. And actually I'm realizing it's 8:02. So Hanali, do you have anything last you wanted to say before I see us out, as it were?
Yeah. So as a community, like I said, you can just try to increase awareness about the resources that we just talked about, and any other resources that we know and find. And we can also help someone understand what invisible disability means, and just take some time to regenerate and give others their time to regenerate too. And of course, be patient with everyone, because you don't know what disability someone is going through. And so, yeah, so thank you so much, everyone, for attending this discussion and learning about this topic with us. I will pass on to Stacy to conclude.
Thank you folks so much for joining us for the film Finding Dory and for our virtual discussion about it. Because the topic of invisible disability, like all of the topics we cover at Inform Your Community, is not just a one and done kind of thing. It's just the beginning of the conversations that you can have about this topic. We encourage you to find out more information, and to start you off with that, we'll be sending you our infographic about invisible disability. It's a PDF. You can share it with folks, which is great. So we encourage you to do that, and some, further reading on the topic. We also encourage you to commit to one friendly action, invisible disability friendly action each week. And we would love to have you support our organization. Of course, feel free, or we have a donation button on our pages, our website, www.informyourcommunity.org, that helps to keep our events free. And please do sign up for future events. We wanted to mention that we have a post-event survey. Tyler, I'm not sure if you have that ready, but if you could, there you go. If you could take this very quick survey for us. In addition, after we send you our email with the infographic, we'll also send you this discussion video. And as well, there'll be a very brief survey in that one with different questions from this. So we encourage you to take that poll as well. So we appreciate your feedback on these 3 questions. Give you a minute to check those out.
I don't have access to the
survey didn't come up?
poll thingy.
Oh,
Yeah,
the
so
survey
it was on the screen. It was on my screen, and then
it disappeared.
Oh, it disappeared.
Oh, it disappeared for you too. Okay. Maybe we will Tyler, maybe end it and then launch it again.
It's back.
Oh, it's back.
Yeah,
Oh, great.
back.
You see it now? Okay. Thank you so much for letting us know, and for staying late to do this survey. I appreciate it.
It was fun.
And you can check out while you're finishing that up, you can check out our other events on our website as well. We're going to have 36 events this year on a variety of different topics. I think over 30 topics. And so please do check out our other events. And we'll be having more events coming up very soon in early August. So please check out our website at www.informyourcommunity.org/events. You will see them there. And in the meantime, happy Disability Pride Month to everybody. We're so glad you were able to make it to the event. Thank you for coming.
Thank you, everyone.
We hope to see you more.
We hope to see you again. And all of our events are free, and are so please do check them out.